Measuring success, marketing metrics, effectiveness, and ROI. This video is a short extract from the overall lecture where I talk to specific measures that students have asked me to recap upon. They are penetration and volume weighted distribution. I will post the rest of the video, the entire thing, on both Brightspace and on a YouTube channel, which I've talked about to you previously, in the near future. I just need to pull it together. Okay, so penetration versus market share. Penetration is essentially trial, and the metric is expressed as a percentage. Number of people trialed over number of people in the marketplace expressed as a percentage. Trial is essentially people have bought your product at least once. If they bought it more than once, they've still trialed it. It's not particularly relevant. What we're concerned with is the number of people that have bought your product in a given period, in a given market, at least once. But once, as I said, is enough. I've already talked a lot about market share, so I won't talk about it anymore except to calculate what the market share is in this example in order to contrast it with penetration. So I've drawn a pretty rudimentary graphic here to represent a marketplace and to highlight sales of brand A within this market across a given period. The typical period would be a year. So brand A sales in this particular market are represented by the orange numbers on the heads of each of these characters. So what we have is a market that consists of 5 people. That market sales per year is 100 units. That's on the left there. So the total market sales are 100 units for all brands within that marketplace. However, in this example, we're not concerned with other brands beyond brand A. And brand A sales to each of these people is highlighted with the orange number on each of their heads. So person 1 buys 6 units, person 2 buys 14, person 3 and 4 don't buy any units, and person 5 buys 10. So, market share for brand A is the sum of all the sales across the period to all of the consumers within that marketplace. So 6 plus 14 plus 10 is 30. Market share is 30 over 100. Sales of brand A over total sales for the marketplace, 30 over 100 is 30%. It's pretty straightforward. Now, penetration is people who've bought your brand or who've bought brand A at least once. So in this case, person 1 has bought it 6 times, so at least once. Person 2 has also bought it at least once. Persons 3 and 4 have not bought the brand, they've not trialed. And then person 5 has bought it 10 times across the year, has bought 10 units across the year. We don't actually know how many times he's bought it. It could have been 10 all at once. But person 5 has also bought the brand. So of the market of 5 people, person 1, 2, and 5, 3 people have bought the brand at least once. 3 over the total number of people in the marketplace, over 5 is 60%. So the penetration for brand A is 60%. Volume weighted distribution. Volume weighted distribution is a marketing metric that is more nuanced than straight distribution to give account for greater size in terms of the distribution outlets that you may use, the stores you may sell through. You're more likely to sell more units through larger stores than you are through smaller stores, and therefore distribution in those larger stores is more important. By using volume weighted distribution, or VWD, you get a better metric for how you're performing in the marketplace, and also it gives you a better steer in terms of forecasting volume, how much you're going to sell in the coming period. So in this example, each store is represented by a box. The number within the boxes represents the sales for that particular store. What we're concerned with is brand A. Now, in this particular example, the numbers within each of the stores are not sales for brand A, they are just sales for those stores. However, The orange box represents which of the stores Brand A has a listing in, which of the stores that Brand A is being sold in. And the black box, Brand A has no listing in. So in this example, we have 10 stores with total sales of 600. If you add up all the numbers inside the box, you get to 600. And Brand A is listed in 6 of those stores. There are 6 orange boxes out of the 10. So straight distribution for Brand A would be 6 over 10 or 60%. Now, in this example, what we have is, though, Brand A is listed in the larger stores. So Brand A has performed well in terms of which stores it's listed in. And the volume weighted distribution metric in this example would be you add up the numbers within each of the orange boxes, within each of the boxes that Brand A is listed in, you get to 500. You divide that by the total sales of all the stores, 600, and you express it as a percentage to get 83%. The volume weighted distribution for Brand A is 83%. So it's greater than the straight distribution. Straight distribution is only 60%, but it's quite a good performance in terms of an absolute number, but also to give a feel for the kind of sales Brand A could expect through those stores, and for the performance of those tasks with actually getting the listings. So volume weighted distribution, a more nuanced measure of distribution, and hopefully clearly explained just there. Okay, thank you. I will go through, as I said, I will post the full lecture in due course, but that's just covering the 2 areas that I've been specifically asked to highlight. Hope you're well. Talk to you at the end of the week.